Good evening and welcome to Berkshire Jazz. We cut Dave Brubeck off a little bit there with the Duke, our theme, because we have a guest here in the studio, and that's rare, but an honored guest and a good friend, Ed Bride.
Hey, Phil.
Can we hear you, Ed?
I don't know. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you.
Here we go.
I hear you now. There we go.
Good to have the mic on.
And Ed is here because there have been some changes in the Pittsfield City Jazz Festival, which is, we're in our, 10th year?
16th
year.
10th, 11th since we've been an independent nonprofit organization. Yeah, but we've been at it since 2005, although with a 2-year hiatus for some strange reason.
And we incorporated in 2009, wasn't it? Yeah,
right.
Okay. And the changes are?
Well, other than, let's see, moving from October to April.
Yeah.
For starters, our dates this year are April 23rd through May 1st. We decided to move to Jazz Appreciation Month, and our final concert on May 1st. We just added another day to April, so
there you go.
We're calling it April 31st. And we'll get to the details on that. But that's Sunday matinee, May 1st. And we have, for the first time, a jazz jam session where we don't know who'll be playing except for the house band. And rotating in like happens with jazz jams all the time. This will be at Dottie's on opening night, April 23rd. And we have our old standby, the Jazz Prodigy concert.
Yeah, that's a great concert.
Featuring a young musician. And then the headline weekend on Friday and Sunday with the annual Jazz Crawl in between on Saturday, April 30th.
And that's expanded. I mean, we used to be
we have
lucky.
7 venues that are going to be presenting.
3 or 4 and be happy, and we got 7.
That's right, yeah. Yeah, from the 101 restaurant in the new Holiday Inn on West Street, all the way up North Street to Dottie's and over to First Street to RJ's, formerly the Rainbow. Yeah, so it's going to be quite a night from 4 p.m., which is the hotel on North, up to about 10 p.m. So it's really going to be quite a night. And then, I might as well say it now, the capstone event, if you will, is the Diva Jazz Orchestra, the full 15-piece big band at the Colonial Theater on Sunday afternoon, May 1st at 2 p.m.
Sunday afternoon. Now that's a change.
First time for us for a Sunday matinee for a featured event. You know, as you may remember, there's this interruption in programming called the pandemic.
Yeah.
And we've been working with Diva to get them here for 3 years. And when we finally focused on this weekend, it just didn't work out for them on Saturday, and we didn't want to lose it. So we said would Sunday work? And that's the only other day in the spring that would work for them. So I said, let's give it a try. We'll do Sunday matinee. And, you know, it's still the shoulder season. It's not World Series. It's not football. Mm-hmm. You can always miss one Red Sox game, I suppose.
Yeah.
And so I think it'll be an interesting time for us to have that in the afternoon on a Sunday.
And it's good to know they're busy.
They are busy. This is a band that's been working for 30 years now, just about 30. Yeah. And a lot of the same personnel. Of course, the leader, Sherry Maracle, the drummer, has been with it since the start. And so, it's going to be an interesting concert. It's a CD release tour for them for their brand new CD, which is called the Diva Jazz Orchestra Swings Broadway. All Broadway tunes, familiar tunes, accessible music to those who aren't fully jazz fans, but to those who are, it's something really great for them, powerful big band music.
And you brought it here.
I knew we have it.
We have a little
It's a brand new CD. It
preview.
was just debuted at Dizzy's Club in New York in the middle of March. Mm-hmm. And this is basically the CD release tour for them.
Terrific.
So this is their first stop on the CD release tour, and they warmed up for us at Dizzy's in New York.
Well, I was lucky to hear them 20 years ago over in Troy Savings Bank.
Oh, right, yes. I remember that.
And they opened up for Maynard Ferguson, and I went to hear Maynard.
Well,
they were every bit as good.
Yeah, we can hear
impressed.
some Maynard tonight, too, if we want.
Oh, we could.
That's right.
Maybe we will. Well, listen, let's, unless you have more to add.
Let's go into some music and then come back to chat.
This is a CD of Divas, Leave It to Diva, the title, from 1996. And
is that their first CD?
I don't know. The other one I have is 95, so I guess it's their second one. What was that called? Something's Coming. We'll get to that later, too. of a lot of diva. So I had scheduled to play Them Their Eyes once in a while and Airmail Special. Shall we take a little break?
Well, let's leave it to Diva.
Is that a tune on here?
No, that's the name of the CD.
Oh, all right, because I've got more.
Okay.
Let's go to it. Here is Them Their Eyes. Oh, and this, let's see. I can tell you. You're going to hear on this particular one, Virginia Mayo on tenor sax, and then making whoopies, our friend Claire Daly.
Aha, right.
Yeah,
Remember
Claire's
Claire.
a good friend of the Berkshire's jazz.
Sure is, yep.
The Big Band Diva, right here on WTBR 89.7 FM in Pittsfield, Massachusetts. This is Berkshire Jazz. I'm your host, Phil Tierney, and we're here with Ed Bride, President and Chairman of the Board, you might say. Berkshire's Jazz, the organization, nonprofit organization that puts on the Pittsfield City Jazz Festival. And that last set we just listened to, with the little twist from what I announced, that was Trolley Song and Makin' Whoopee. And on Makin' Whoopee, our friend Claire Daly, who's been very helpful to Berkshire's Jazz over the years.
She has, indeed.
Yeah. And Deborah Weiss on trombone and Jamie Dauber on trumpet.
Jamie is also the band manager. We've been dealing with Jamie as well as with Sherry Miracle on all the details for this upcoming. So she's an old hand with the band, I think.
And I don't know that I've mentioned it, but that is the group that'll be here in Pittsfield at the Colonial Theater as a big part of the Pittsfield City Jazz Festival, which, as we said earlier, has moved from the fall to the spring, and not accidentally into April, May. April being Jazz Appreciation Month, Ed pointed out to us.
And not only that, April 29th, the opening of Headline Weekend, is also Duke Ellington's birthday.
Yeah.
And April 30th, when we have our Jazz Crawl, is celebrated worldwide as International Jazz Day. This is an initiative of UNESCO, so that countries all around the world, organizations all around the world will be acknowledging jazz.
Terrific.
So it's quite a movement, and it's great to become part of this.
Why didn't
thing.
we do that earlier?
I know. I think just seemed, I don't know.
But it
I just
happened.
don't know.
And I think it's going to be a big hit. I mean, just again, as you pointed out, we have 7 pubs and restaurants up and down North Street, the main drag, featuring jazz as our Jazz Crawl. Well, you also mentioned Duke Ellington's birthday, and we took time to recognize and pay tribute to the birthdays each month of some of the stars of jazz. And so we've got some Duke Ellington here. This is from a 1961 recording, Piano in the Foreground. And let me see. I can find it. I can't remember who it was is with him.
A lot of people don't really appreciate the Duke Ellington's piano playing. He was quite an accomplished player, but he thought of his, he would say what instrument, the orchestra is the instrument. But he did pretty well. He had a good feel for the piano as a solo instrument, and so it's nice to see you giving him some creds for that part of his repertoire.
Well, we will, if we don't get to some of it next week, we'll revisit it. At any rate, it's Aaron Bell and Jimmy Wood on bass, sharing the bass duties, and Sam Woodyard on the drums, Duke Ellington piano. And we'll listen to 2 tunes. I can find it here.
I Can't Get Started?
Phoebe. No,
not that one?
No, you're right. I'm looking at Freddie Hubbard.
Which one?
Yeah, Can't Get Started, Body and Soul, and Summertime. Here is Duke Ellington, Piano in the Foreground.
starting the summertime with a thunderstorm.
Duke Ellington, like you don't usually hear him without his orchestra. They're from a 1961 recording, Piano in the Foreground. And as I said, Jimmy Wood
Yeah.
on bass and Sam Woodyard on the drums. And you're listening to WTBR 89.7 FM here in Pittsfield, Massachusetts. We're here with Ed Bride, president of the Berkshire Jazz Board. And we're promoting an upcoming jazz weekend, the Pittsfield City Jazz Festival. And some great musicians, some great acts. I also wanted to mention Duke, birthday in April, and the 29th, born in 1899.
Yeah, 123 years old.
Yeah.
He doesn't look a day over 90. Of course, he's been gone a long time. So.
Yeah. Well, we're going to move.
Music still stands up, though, doesn't it?
Oh, doesn't it? Doesn't it? And I think you had mentioned when we were off that when they asked him what instrument he played, he said the orchestra.
Yep. The orchestra.
And he wrote for individuals in the orchestra, and they didn't change.
Put their names right on the. Oh yeah, he had that benefit of low turnover.
Yeah,
it was very low turnover. Unlike say Stan Kenton, who seemed to change every other year, except for the few really big names. But there would be a lot of turnover, especially later in Kenton's career, when he was trying to get that younger and younger audience.
Yeah.
But Duke's staff was really very stable.
Right.
Well, at least in terms of how long they stayed on the band. Other things will.
Yeah. Yeah, but the Kenton was by design, I think.
I think so, too, yeah.
I read somewhere where he told Ferguson, go form your own band, you're too good.
Yeah, and he's probably not the only one that happened to.
Right.
And a lot of great leaders came out of the Kenton band, and the one still working today, Bill Holman, who's got a great band in Southern California. Doesn't tour. A lot of these bands don't tour anymore, but there's a great scene around the country of local big bands that play. Some of them just every week for bread, for dinner. Others get serious gigs, but there's a lot of big bands working these days. It's wonderful to see that.
Well, to speak of some of the Kenton sidemen, you brought a CD for us today. We'll listen to it just a little later on. The great Maynard Ferguson.
Yeah, that's up next. In fact, I think.
I think we're listening to The Clown.
Oh, that's okay.
The Haitian fight song.
Oh, okay. We're going to jump ahead.
I don't know.
What?
Where am I?
I think we were going to do Bésame Mucho from the Maynard, the new Maynard CD that was just discovered.
All right.
It was recorded. I think I got it queued up on.
I just got to find the track. Track 2. Yeah.
This was discovered. It was recorded in 2006, just a month before Maynard died. They did not know he was ill, and they recorded, and it just came out about 2 or 3 months ago. A new CD. And so we'll play a cut from that. Right. It's not only because of Kenton's association, but because you were mentioning you went to see Diva as the opener to Maynard.
Yeah.
And so we got a two-band bill today, too, with a little bit of Diva and a little bit of Maynard Ferguson.
And here's Maynard Ferguson.
This big bop nouveau band.
The one and only Maynard Ferguson. That's the title of the CD.
He clearly had lost it by then, hadn't he? Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get back to him in the second half of the hour.
You ever hear Bass and Me Mucho played like that?
No. No. You're listening to WTBR 89.7 FM in Pittsfield, your community radio station. And this is Berkshire Jazz. We're here every Saturday evening from 8 to 10. And we're here tonight with Ed Bride. And you have something for us, don't you, Ed?
Well, we'll talk a little bit about the Pittsfield City Jazz Festival and then close out with a number that has some overlap with the festival. Hold that in a little secret.
Yeah.
So the festival returns to live programming at a new time of year. Normally we've been in mid-October since the very beginning in 2005, but we're part of Jazz Appreciation Month now through April 23rd through May 1st, actually, going into the first day of May, and opening on April 23rd at 7 o'clock with a jazz jam at Mission Restaurant on North Street. And there'll be a house trio with Connor Meehan on drums, Jason Swartz on bass, and Dave Smith is the piano player, I believe, and rotating musicians throughout the 3-hour.
Kind of an open invitation.
Exactly, open invitation. So bring your horns or bring your whatever you play, although you won't need to bring drums if you want to kick Connor out of the seat for a little bit, or a bass or a keyboard, but other instruments. And I know some of the people who are going. It's going to be a terrific night. So that's April 23rd. Then on Wednesday, April 27th at the Berkshire Athenaeum, thanks to the Friends of the Athenaeum, we have our annual Jazz Prodigy concert where we present a young musician who has not recorded commercially and who we expect to be a force in jazz someday.
And we've had some amazing talents over the years.
Indeed,
We've been very fortunate. Plus, it's a free concert.
It's a free concert, thanks to the Friends of the Athenaeum.
Yeah.
It's at the Berkshire Athenaeum. Yeah, last year we had Anton Kott, who grew up in the same area as this year's prodigy, Ruby Farmer, who grew up in Brooklyn. And Anton has gone on to greater things, making noise all over the world, making good jazz, good noise all over the world.
Phrase that.
And we had several others. And so that's at 7 o'clock at the Berkshire Athenaeum. Ruby Farmer is her name, a young 16-year-old bass player. And then on Friday night, on April 29th at 7:30 p.m. at the Berkshire Museum, we have the George Russell Jr. Trio and vocalist Lydia Harrell. George is on the faculty at Berklee College of Music. He's the son of a very famous musician, George Russell. And they'll be doing a vocal set at the Berkshire Museum, 7:30 p.m. on Friday. Then the next day, Saturday, is our annual Jazz Crawl, which usually we had that on a separate weekend, but because of scheduling complications, we put it in the middle of our headline weekend this year. 7 venues, starting at the Hotel on North at 4 o'clock and finishing across the street at Mission from later on till 10 o'clock, and including the 101 Restaurant, RJ's, Berkshire Palette, and others. So you can check that schedule out at berkshiresjazz.org. The complete Jazz Crawl schedule, including who's playing and at what time they're starting, will be on our website now, berkshiresjazz.org. And on Sunday, of course, the culminating event, the big band Diva, the Diva Jazz Orchestra, 15-piece, all-female big band, playing at the Colonial Theater, opening at 2 o'clock, with the opening band, the Berkshire's Jazz Youth All-Star Band, young musicians from the city's public middle schools, and from Darrow School. We've got some musicians from Darrow School participating this year, too. So there's 15-piece big band also opening for Diva, so that'll be quite an afternoon on May 1st. And on also May 1st, in case you want to get out for a little lunch before that, here's some music. Dottie's will be having their annual jazz brunch starting at 8 a.m., actually. It goes 8 a.m. to 2, with music from 10 a.m. till noon with the Dave Bartley Duo. So a pretty complete weekend.
Wow.
Tickets are now on sale, and you can find out information at berkshiresjazz.org.
All right. Well, thank you for that.
Yeah, you bet.
We're going to pick it up with the Charlie Mingus Big Band. Charlie Mingus, born on the 22nd of April in 1922, from a CD entitled The Clown.
Yeah. So his 100th birthday next week.
And this is the Haitian fight song, a tune that was used in some commercials on TV that just caught my ear every time they came on.
It's a wild song, and I think the reason we selected that is because Ruby Farmer will be playing that as part of her set on April 27th. So
It's a nice bass intro.
yeah, for a 16-year-old to be tackling this song is pretty remarkable. So you come out and hear it.
The Haitian Fight
Yes,
Song. Charlie Mingus, 1957, from a CD entitled The Clown. And you're listening to WTBR 89.7 FM here in Pittsfield, Massachusetts. This is Berkshire Jazz. I'm your host, Phil Tierney, and we're here with Ed Bride. We've been listening to Diva. We've been listening to Duke Ellington. We've been listening to all kinds of great stuff. Joining Charlie Mingus on that release, however, he was on the bass, of course. Curtis Porter on sax. Jimmy Kniper on trombone. Yeah. Wade Legge on piano. And Danny Richmond on drums.
Right.
And
not a bad band, huh?
Oh, my goodness gracious. We got more from them if we have time. The second half. If not, next Saturday evening we'll be ooming it with Duke. with
right. Yeah.
Charlie Mingus. Okay, you had something for us, did you?
Yeah, I was going to mention, actually, once again, that a smaller group version of Haitian Fight Song is on the set list for Ruby Farmer when she plays with a local duo, I should say, on April 27th. The young bass player from Brooklyn will be playing with Connor Meehan on drums and Benny Cohn on piano at the Steinway over at the Berkshire Athenaeum. So that'll be quite a treat to hear her treatment of the bass work on Haitian Fight Song by Charles Mingus. And, so we're heading into the hour and heading into the Pittsfield City Jazz Festival. Comes up April 23rd through May 1st. I went through the lineup a few minutes ago. I didn't mention that the reason we can offer this at reasonable prices is we have a very generous and very successful sponsorship program that's worked very well for us this year. And the Diva concert on May 1st is brought to you largely through a very generous donation from the Feigenbaum Foundation. The Diva will be doing a master class and a clinic with our student youth ensemble before the headline concert starts at 2 p.m. on May 1st. But other sponsors include the Massachusetts Cultural Council, Berkshire Bank, the Greylock Federal Credit Union, Milltown Capital, the Holiday Inn and Suites, which is our hospitality sponsor, the Pittsfield Cooperative Bank, and our media sponsor, the Berkshire Eagle. I mentioned the Berkshire Bank Foundation, and Brent and Carolyn Benulis, who are out there in South Bend listening to this program on WETF. Brent is sort of a major factor in the very successful jazz station in South Bend, WETF-LP.
And we thank them.
So hi, Brent and Carolyn. And also, of course, the Friends of the Athenaeum, who are helping to make the Ruby Farmer concert possible. All happening April 23rd through 30th this year in downtown Pittsfield. So we've mentioned that the Diva will be the capstone event on May 1st, and they have a brand new CD called The Diva Jazz Orchestra Swings Broadway, so maybe we kick off the second hour with a number from there. Right?
Let's do it. Pure Imagination. And
a samba treatment of Pure Imagination.
I believe so. We have...
If anybody remembers what play that's from, let me know.
We're inside. We can't Google it.
I've heard the New England Jazz Ensemble had a version of this on their live recording that was done in Hartford 4 or 5 years ago with John Abercrombie doing an extended guitar solo on that.
Wow. All right. Well,
or was that Allie Ryerson doing flute? Both of those were on that CD, but I don't remember now which one was the main soloist.
Well, without further ado.
The memory is the second thing to go, Phil, I forget the first.
Diva. And that is, what is that? That's a new diva.
That's the new diva.
The new diva.
Pure Imagination.
I was looking to see when it was recorded, and I think I saw it and forgot. All right.
Around the turn of the year. Right?
Yeah.
December. Was it December?
Yeah, January
Yep.
2022.
Yep.
So probably not been played in Pittsfield before now.
No, that's right. Exactly. I mean,
First.
we just got the CD last week. So
Great.
and they've been talking about that for a couple of years. This recording. When I first started to talk to Sherry about appearing here at the festival 2 years ago, before the pandemic, and she said, "Yeah, we're going to be doing this new recording on Broadway stuff, and we'll debut it up at your festival." This was going to be in 2020.
Yeah.
So then maybe 2021. No, and then they finally went into the studio just earlier this year, and as I say, they debuted it at Dizzy's Club Coca-Cola at Lincoln Center in the middle of March, and it's got great reviews from it, great turnout there, and so now they're taking it on the road, and so
And that was Pure Imagination.
Pure Imagination.
You heard Jamie Dauber on flugelhorn and Roxy Cross tenor saxophone, Sherry Maracle on drums, of course. She's the leader of the group, and Annette Aguilar on percussion. I may have ruined that name, but Divas, Jazz Swings Broadway. Now we're going to listen to some another artist we played last week, actually, Gene Ammons.
It was still his birthday last week.
It was still his birthday month.
Birthday month, right?
He was born on what's today, the 15th?
Depends on whether you're talking about Friday or Saturday. So.
Oh, that's right. Well, anyway, he was born on the 14th of April back in 1925. We're going to listen to a couple tunes from his 1960 release, Boss Tenor. Close Your Eyes and Blue Ammons. Here's Gene Ammons.
The fade.
The Boss Tenors, yeah.
It is a fade.
Gene Ammons on tenor sax, joined there by Tommy Flanagan on piano, Arthur Taylor on drums, and Ray Barretto on congas.
Too bad he couldn't get anybody good on that CD.
Yeah,
And you knew it was done in the 1960s because it was fading at the end.
Yeah.
Remember that was
that was
the
hot,
pop songs.
hot in those days.
Concept, yep.
Yeah, sometimes we do it here unintentionally. All right, so that was Boss Tenors from 1960, Gene Ammons, whose birthday was the 14th of this month, born in 1925. We're going to move on to something new that Ed brought, Five Play, which are 5 artists from the Diva group that you'll perhaps be hearing more from. And it was recorded live at the Firehouse Stage. Sherry Miracle on drums, Noriko Yuda on bass, Tomoko Ono on piano, Jamie Dauber on trumpet, and Janelle Reichman on tenor sax, We're going to listen to the Duke Ellington composition, Just Squeeze Me. And you're listening to WTBR 89.7 FM here in Pittsfield, Massachusetts. Berkshire Jazz from 8 to 10 every Saturday evening. I'm your host, Phil Tierney, and this Saturday evening we're fortunate to have Ed Bride with us on the show. And we're talking about the Pittsfield City Jazz Festival, which has been moved from the fall to the month of April and a little bit of May. So here we go with Five Play from the Firehouse, which was, as I say, recorded live in 2018. It's located in Johnson City, New York.
squeezing off the high notes there, right? Just
Thank you,
squeeze.
Jamie Dauber and Jamil Reichman. Just squeeze them.
Five Play, live at the Firehouse Stage, recorded in 2018. That was Sherry Marital from the Diva Group. Well, many of these artists are. Nariko Yuda on bass, Tomoko Ono on piano, Jamie Dauber on trumpet, and Janelle Reichman on tenor sax, excuse me.
Except she played clarinet on this number, I think, right?
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I thought I heard a clarinet around here somewhere. Okay.
Five
We've
Play.
been talking about Duke Ellington. We played some of his music, and we're going to play some more. But first, we're going to tell you this is Berkshire Jazz. You're listening to WTBR 89.7 in Pittsfield, Massachusetts. This is Phil Tierney, the host, and joined by Ed Bride, president of Berkshire's Jazz, the nonprofit that puts on the Pittsfield City Jazz Festival. And we've been playing some of the music that you'll hear there as well, the Diva Group. But this is Duke Ellington from 1956, and the concert, I guess, that kind of kick-started his career all over.
Restarted, yeah, it sure did. Yeah, yep.
This is Newport, 56. We're going to listen to Duke introduce a tune entitled Blues to Be There. Here's Duke Ellington. I don't know where I am here.
I see you. You're right over there. The Newport Jazz Festival Suite.
Here we go.
Cat Anderson, Harry Coney, Russell Procope, Jimmy Hamilton, Britt Woodman, Quentin Jackson, Willie Cook, Paul Gonzalez. The next part, or rather the second section, will be tentatively titled Blues to Be There.
Duke Ellington, Newport, Rhode Island, the 1956 Newport Jazz Festival. That tune, "Blues to Be There," and the way the way he introduced that, it sounded like he kind of picked that title for tonight.
This is maybe tentatively called "Blues to Be There." That sort of stuck. That was such a great suite. I think there's such pleasant writing, but the solos are so well felt. I love that suite. I think that some critics don't really praise that CD, and I'm wondering, or that recording from back then, if it was because it became so popular. And some critics don't like things that are too successful.
Not cutting edge.
How good that can be if it's that successful?
Yeah, the people like it.
But I thought that suite, the Newport Jazz Festival suite, of which that was a part, was quite a good thing. Of course, everything was so popular on side B of the LP, which was the Diminuendo and Crescendo Blue, and that long solo by Paul Gonsalves. But this was a nice piece to have highlighted Duke Ellington's birthday here on your show.
Right, and another birthday, Charlie Mingus, from 1959. Imagine that, 1959. What a year, huh?
Yeah, that's right.
Mingus
Mingus,
and we'll listen to
the signature album. It was,
yeah. It's the couple, popular tunes that came from that album. "Better Get It in Your Soul," and "Goodbye Pork Pie Hat." Of course, that was for Lester Young.
Yeah, I love that number too.
Yeah. And joining Charlie Mingus on bass, we'll hear John Handy III, Booker T. Irvin Jr., and Shadif Hadi on saxophones, Horace Parlin on piano, William Dennis and James M. Kniper on trombone, and Charles Richmond on drums. Here is "Better Get It in Your Soul." Charlie Mingus.
Would it be trite to say that they don't write them like that anymore? This is really such wonderful.
I know, it's a beautiful tune. You're listening to WTBR 89.7 FM in Pittsfield, Massachusetts. This is Berkshire Jazz. I'm your host, Phil Tierney. And we thank you all for listening.
Yeah, and
take it.
And thanks for everything. Thanks for having me come in, Phil. And just a reminder that the Pittsfield City Jazz Festival is around the corner, April 23rd to May 1st, kicking off with the Berkshire Jazz Jam on April 23rd at Dottie's on North Street, and continuing with Ruby Farmer, upright bass player, in our Prodigy concert on April 27th. The George Russell Trio with Lydia Harrell at the Berkshire Museum on April 29th. And then our Jazz Crawl featuring local musicians at 7 venues around town on April 30th, Saturday, April 30th, from 4 p.m. till 11. And then on Sunday, the capstone concert, the Diva Jazz Orchestra, with an opening by the Berkshire Jazz Youth All-Star Band. And all that ticket information and updates at www.berkshiresjazz.org. And just a comment here, a closing note that if you're listening to this show on WETF, the jazz station in South Bend, Indiana, just so you know, Eric in the Evening out of WGBH in Boston now follows your Saturday night show, this Saturday night show, instead of Sean Montero, whom you may be accustomed to hearing on WETF, and she is now broadcast on WETF in Indiana on Sundays at 8 p.m. So hello to the folks out there in South Bend, Brent Manulis and crew. Thank you very much for sharing this wonderful music.
Well, thank you for coming, Ed. We appreciate it. Come back anytime.
All right.